every version of the word incredible, amazing, mind-blowing. It was everything I had expected it to be and more. In fact, it had such an effect on me that I don't think I could actually travel any other way anymore. I really feel that every time I go to another country, I want to find a way that I can give back and have the opportunity to connect with the locals again.
It was really nice.
Yeah.
Everything over there, the people, the places.
Looking to travel, I'd done a lot of travel in my life, and I was really looking for something that was a little bit different. It's fantastic to go travelling overseas and to visit all of these places, but the experiences that I've had where you've gone and you've connected with the locals and you've actually really understood how they live on a day-to-day basis have always been the most memorable. And I was looking for an opportunity to go and do not just a travelling trip. And I guess as a parent, I feel very, very responsible for teaching the kids about the world around them and actively looking for opportunities to do that.
And they made all of this big classes for us. I felt like they were welcoming us and like they wanted us to stay there, and I didn't want to go home. On the last day I was so sad to go home.
Well, you really need to try the food, because the food is like not the most important thing, but the food, you have to try it, because you gotta try it.
You can't describe it.
You can't describe it, like Angkor Wat, and yeah, it's really spectacular.
The killing fields. That was like the first time that I really actually got to know what happened. I knew that in Cambodia there was a lot of bad things that happened because of Pol Pot, but I didn't actually know what specific things was happening. And to go around and to actually see where they were and what happened and some little stories about it, it was really amazing and sad to know that people in this world, the same world that we live in now, can be treated so badly and so horribly.
When you're just looking at this memories of the kids and adults, like, we wish it never happened, but well, you can't stop it, because then you put yourself into it too. So
yeah, I wasn't going to take the kids originally to killing fields. I wasn't sure how they would cope with that. They were both pretty insistent on coming with me. Admittedly, I think by the time we got to Phnom Penh, we'd been with the group for quite some time. They had seen Cambodia and warmed up to it, so they were a lot more open to the experience. I fundamentally believe, I've done lots of travelling to historic places, and I remember doing history at school. I was always fascinated in history, modern history particularly. And there's nothing quite like seeing exactly what happened in history on the place, or seeing it and experiencing it exactly where it happens. I think you learn more about that history or that act by visiting that place than you do from reading it in a book. And I'm glad, I walked through the gardens with the kids, and it was quite confronting. We met one of the prisoners, Amy and I met one of the prisoners who was one of the last surviving prisoners that came out of the Khmer Rouge prison in Phnom Penh, and despite the absolute atrocities that man had experienced, he was so welcoming of us and wanted us to sit down and to share his story with us. And we connected with him for even just 5 minutes or so, and it was the most memorable experience, one of the most memorable experiences of my life. I don't think I'll ever forget that man's face, because he was, despite what he went through, just so loving of us and human beings in general, where he could have completely locked himself away and experience. I wasn't really sure how they would go, to be honest with you. I sort of went out, it was a bit of a left of field trip, and I went out on a limb, and I was hoping that I would get an experience for them that was completely different to anything that they had ever done and what they currently live in, and I certainly got that. One of the things that I really love is that I can come home now to Australia and I can talk to the kids about things that are going on in the world that are not always the most positive, and I can talk to them about how lucky they are and how privileged they are, and they get it. They actually they were better soccer players. Yeah. Even with no shoes, they were better soccer players.
And how did you feel about when you were giving them the shoes, you were getting them to try the shoes?
Yeah, I was like, okay. Well, it was awesome because we have shoes and they don't, and we'll just, because when we put on shoes, we're like, yeah, yes. And then when they got their shoes, they were so happy because now they could like run around, and now they don't have to like get all cuts and grazes on their feet.
We all brought our own unique experience to the table, and everybody was willing to just get in and do whatever needed to be done. And that was a wonderful thing to experience, absolutely.
Would you go again? Would you go back again? Would you love to go back again?
I would love to go back in it, 110%.